Erica here with Crafts Direct, and I'm excited to show you a fun stenciling technique that I used to create this fun background on this beautiful fall project. So let me show you how to do it. We started this project out by creating the stencil design on the back of the frame. So to do this, I used a stencil, some distress ink, a blender brush, and some washi tape. I began the process by putting my stencil down in a corner of the board, and I secured it down with my washi tape. So I put tape on the top and the side of the stencil. Then I opened up my distress ink. I used the color pumice stone. I took my blender brush, I rubbed it in the ink, and then I used a circular motion over the stencil to get the distress ink onto my board. You'll continue applying distress ink onto the blender brush and using a circular motion until you get the entire stencil covered. When you're doing this, brush really lightly, there's no need to push down hard, and just keep going over the same area until you get the depth of color that you're looking for. Once you have one section of the stencil done, you'll pull the stencil up, move it over, and then you'll re-tape it down with washi tape. I also put tape over the last area that I colored in, just so I wouldn't get any blurred lines by recoloring the same section. And then you'll continue doing this and moving it across the board until you have the entire surface covered. Once the entire surface is covered, you'll take the washi tape off of your stencil, and then you'll want to clean your stencil real quick just by taking a paper towel and rubbing the ink off of the stencil. Next, I decided to distress the edges of the board, so I grabbed a sanding block and I sanded until I got some of the original wood tone showing through the black color. This is very messy. You're going to get your entire surface really dirty and covered in a black dust. So you'll want some kind of wet towel or cleaning supplies around, and you'll want to clean as you go. But continue sanding until you get the distressed look that you're going for. The next thing we're going to do is create the mat that goes behind our photo. So whatever size photo you have, add a 1/2 inch to each of the sides, and that is what you will cut from your piece of white paper. Then grab a surface that you're okay getting messy and you can throw away later. You'll take your distress ink back out, and you are going to run the distress ink along the edges of your paper. We just want to make sure that the 1/2 inch on each side is covered in the pumice stone color so it matches the background of the board. Next, we're going to take all of our pieces and lay everything out where we want it on the board. So we laid out our photo, the word thankful, and now we're going to work on those golden eucalyptus pieces. So I took a wire cutters and I'm separating the stem into 3 different pieces. And then we'll adjust it so it fits onto the board. So we'll trim the stem and we'll push up some leaves. We can also pull some leaves off of the stem just to make sure it fits the height of the board. Once you've got the eucalyptus the height that you want it, you are going to take some cream cord. You'll wrap it around the 3 pieces of eucalyptus to hold it in place. Leave a tail on the one end, then you'll wrap around several times. And then at the top, you will tie a knot with the string you wrapped around and the tail that you left on the other end. Then if you need to do any more trimming, you can still shorten those ends. And now it's time to put everything together and attach it. So the first thing we're going to do is glue the photo to the back matting with a glue runner. Then we are going to take the thankful word, flip it over, and then take our 1/4 inch 3D foam squares and attach that to the back of the word thankful. Then we're going to lay everything in place, get it where we want it before we attach everything. Once we're ready to attach everything to the board, we will take the photo, put some more glue runner on the back of it, and push it down onto the surface of the board. Next, we'll take the word thankful, flip it over, remove the back tab off of those 3D foam squares, flip it back onto the frame, and secure it to the board. Our last thing to attach is the bunch of eucalyptus. So you'll put a dab of hot glue and you'll put that down under the surface of the board, and then you're ready to display your project. You can find all the supplies to make this project at craftsdirect.com and go over to the projects page.